Hi, I'm Rick, and this is my video blog! You know, I think I'm going to take this time and rant about a few things that just annoy the crap out of me. As I mentioned in my, past blog, not sure which one, I know I said it, I have not had a lot of luck with girls, in the sense that I cannot find one that is available! And you know, this is really annoying, but what is really annoying is that when you meet the guy they're dating, they're complete jackasses. And it's the case every time. And it's not out of, I hate you because, you know, you got this girl I don't know. I meet this guy, I'm like, okay, might as well socialize it. Dude. What did she see in this guy? He's a complete douche. And I noticed those are the guys that have the girls crawling all over them. You know, you see this guy, all he talks about is how much he's getting, and you hear from other girls that he's not just blowing his own whistle, and you see this guy, and you just know from the way he talks, from the way he acts, he sees himself as the highest order of the universe. All are below me. He obviously sees women as objects of his own personal pleasure. Something he practically says himself. And these are guys that have, you know, he gets a different girl every week. And my first thought was, well, maybe he knows how to charm a girl. Maybe he, you know, is different around the girls as to, you know, reel them in. No. He's just an asshole all the time. Even around them, you know. He's just going around all day being an asshole. And this really annoys me because every time I try and get a girl, you know, I'd be nice. I'd be a gentleman. I'd be a good person. And, well, I'm getting nothing. You know, I'm not just trying to get girls for personal pleasure. Like every guy, I will admit that is part of it. That's part of the goal, but that is not all of it. That's another thing. Unlike them, I'm not just some horny bastard. I'm trying to meet a nice girl. You know? And when I go to meet them, I try to be nice. I try to be a gentleman. I just, you know, just try to be a good guy. And I get nothing. And you got all these complete, you know, sorry excuse for a person getting some all the time. It's like, what? Is that what I should do? Should I just become a douchebag and then, you know, get all the girls I want? What the crap? Huh. Okay, that's one work. Another one. It really, and this is to most Americans. It really annoys me when the acts of a type of person spawns not just a stereotype, just a archetype for the rest of that group. For example, a group of Muslims destroyed the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, a section of the Pentagon, and all of a sudden, all Muslims are terrorists. Muslims has become a synonym for terrorists. What the crap? Muslims as a whole, you know, the Islamic people did not do anything for you. Members of the Islamic people did something to you. This is true. But they, the Muslim religion did not do anything to harm you. And everyone's saying, you're just a stinking Muslim. Did anyone else hear about that event on 9/11? They were trying to, there's a big protest about building a mosque near 9/11. I admit that was a little, but everyone's going on about, no, we're not giving the terrorists the satisfaction. Just build a sleeper cell right next to the World Trade Center. No, that is not the whole point of the Muslim religion. And I know some of the stuff they started burning the Quran. Hold on a minute, I'm going to look that up because I don't want to offend anyone by saying it wrong. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's the Quran. Yeah, they started burning the pages, the Quran at this thing. Thank you. Just stoke the flame, why don't you? And then, rip pages out and start offering it to people as toilet paper. What the hell? What if people started burning the Bible? How would all you Christians feel? And I'm a Christian. Personally, in my last video, I described myself as a Christian person of faith, but right here I'm going to say I am a Christian. But that doesn't mean Muslims are not automatic bad people, and they're not automatically terrorists. Jeez. And anyone who thinks so just needs to grow up. Ugh. The acts of a few does not equal the mindset of the rest of them. Another example of this, and this hits a little more home. The Pope decided to go around to apologize personally to the families and just offer help to the families of victims of molestation from priests, Catholic priests. And I will admit there were way too many Catholic priests for comfort that did that. That was just a big slap in the face for Catholicism. I will specify I am a Christian, not a Catholic. I am a Christian. The two are very similar, but there is a difference. Anyway, and then, he's doing all this great service, and all of a sudden everyone is going, there's all these protesters saying, this crap about the Pope and how he's a child molester and how he needs to go to jail or be put on trial or whatever. Like, come on! Just because, okay, I will admit, there were so many Catholic priests who did this that is, well, it's not a unfound stereotype, but that does not mean that the Pope himself is a child molester, that every single priest or minister or whatever is a child molester. I know a minister. I have never met a better person. Got 2 kids, he's married. He's not no, 3 kids, sorry. He's got 3 kids, he's married. He's not perfect, but, a better person I have never known. And if you ever accused him of being a child molester, I'd kick you in the gonads. Well, maybe not literally, but I'd be very, very angry about it. But, it's just that, people need to grow up and stop looking at things so general. Just because, a select group or a group of people were from this place does not mean that the whole place is guilty of what this small group has done. And I know a lot of you are going to say, like, oh, yeah, that Al-Qaeda is a really small group. It was before we started hating Muslims. what we did, this is how Al-Qaeda got its numbers. It bombed the World Trade Center, and then we started hating Muslims, and then started backing them into Al-Qaeda. Where they had two ways to go. Al-Qaeda, Americans. And the Al-Qaeda was welcoming them with open arms. Americans are saying, go back to Islam, or we will kill you, despite the fact that many of these Muslims were full-bred Americans. Some were born and raised in America, their parents were born and raised in America, their grandparents were born and raised in America. I won't go any farther than that because I really have no idea. But it's just, America really does need to grow up. Thank you for letting me get off that chest, and thank you for letting me get that off my chest, and thank you for listening. Oh, since we're on, I mentioned the Pope earlier. I just want to say something that's completely unrelated to the topic except for that. Did you know there's this one guy, he has a set of videos explaining how current events are pointing towards the end of the world. I know they're everywhere, but what this guy was saying was making sense. He actually accused, well, he didn't really accuse, he just said it in a very, he didn't even say it in an accusing way, he just implied it, that Pope Jean Paul II was the Antichrist, and that Benedict is like the Antichrist's second-hand man who is promoting the Antichrist. If you click on my face, I will send you a link to part 1 of it, of that little collection. It's kind of dry, throughout it, but it's definitely worth the watch. What this guy says makes sense. If you choose to ignore the part where he says, like, everything is pointing that Catholicism is the true religion, I'd ignore that. I know I did. Because, well, for one thing, most of these stuff points to Christianity as a whole. Not to think Christianity covers a lot of stuff. Baptism, Catholicism, Protestants, whatever. But yeah, if you want to ignore that, you can go ahead. But everything else he's talking about makes a lot of sense. So, just click on my face and then, look into that if you want to. If you don't, well, whatever. Thank you. Good night, everybody.